Hey everybody, I'm Andrew.
My name is Carl. Hello.
Right. Welcome to Franks and Books. We're both authors and we like to talk to other authors, but we don't want to just talk to other authors. We want to talk to anyone really on social media that we meet that looks interesting or fun. And I think we have an interesting, fun person to talk to tonight. This is Casey. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I became friends with you just a few months ago, actually, on Instagram. Your handle is a Galaxy Far, Far Gray. And I thought to myself, she looks fun. And also, I mean, seriously, you just have this smile that's very, like, awesome. Oh, go on, right? And your hair, oh my. But also, you're really, really, really into Star Wars. Am I correct?
Correct.
Well, I am a huge Star Wars nerd. He's a regular sized one.
Medium, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I got a couple questions for you. I opened up my Star Wars toy chest. Yes, I'm 40 and I have a Star Wars toy chest. And I pulled out a bunch of action figures. And from those action figures, I picked a few to ask you some questions. I have Shmi Skywalker, Aunt Beru, and Mon Mothma. If someone came to you from Lucasfilm and said, you get to choose, we're making a movie out of Shmi Skywalker, Aunt Beru, or Mon Mothma, which one would you pick? Hard
Mon
question.
Mothma.
Oh, really? Why?
How did she get there? How did she get to that position?
Yeah, she's like the leader of the rebellion.
Yes. She's like, how did she get there? There's got to be a lot of stories. And
I think Mon Mothma is the most logical choice. All three are awesome, but she would have a really cool, maybe Rogue One type movie, because that was her era too. So that'd be really cool.
Exactly.
So, bye, ladies. We got. Casey has picked. We have a Mon Mothma movie. Now they say, hey, you did a great job. We love your Mon Mothma idea. So now you're making a Disney Plus TV show. Watto and we have Sebulba. Which one do you tell Lucasfilm to use?
Oh my gosh.
That's a hard one.
I love the character design of Watto so much.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to look at him every
For like
single
7 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
just want to see him.
All right, so Watto wins, right?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I want to see like a redemption arc. I want to see him like learn how wrong he was for owning human beings and like fall from grace and has to like redeem himself and maybe, atone for that.
I love, you know what, when you said that, I love your idea for redeeming Watto, okay? When you said that, for some reason, I thought of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Something happens that makes his heart grow, and and maybe it's something after Shmi, after she, spoiler alert, dies. Maybe he turns and says, he sees the error of his ways, and he dedicates everything he has to ending slavery on Tatooine. By the way, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire.
Guys, see.
Oh, it's so good. You know what? When I think of Star Wars, I think of Empire. When someone says Star Wars to me, I remember being in my grandparents' house back in the mid '90s, popping in the VHS and watching Empires every time.
I still have my VHSs. I'm afraid to put them in now because I don't want them to mess up. But let me ask you this: Empire is my favorite Star Wars movie, but it wasn't always. When I was a kid, my favorite Star Wars movie was Return of the Jedi.
Of course.
And then later in life, it became A New Hope, and now at age 40. It's Empire Strikes Back, hands down. Was Empire always your favorite?
I would say that when I was a kid, I distinctly remember being sick and like staying home from school sick when I was a kid, and I got to watch Return of the Jedi, and it just felt like such a treat. Like, I'm sick, but I get rewarded. I get to stay home and watch Return of the Jedi. Like, there's Ewoks, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah,
and,
you should get sick more often.
Yeah, like, the fight at the end was just so amazing. That was just my favorite thing in the world. The older I got, the more I kind of grew into my Star Wars fandom as an adult. Everything I love about Star Wars is in Empire. I like the planets, the droids, like the probe droids are. I'm obsessed with probe droids.
I have a lot of Star Wars tattoos. I might or might not have a probe droid, but I can't show it on.
Hoth in general is something that everything about Hoth is amazing. Tauntauns, everything.
Right.
Like
my favorite scene in all of Star Wars is Yoda lifting the X-wing out. You
yes,
know? That's my favorite scene in all of Star Wars. I actually have a tattoo of Yoda as well. Holding his hand up when he was doing that, because that was the mind blowing. We had already seen the Force used a little bit. Luke had got his lightsaber, but I'm like,
but that's when it's really first shown.
Right. But that's the time it like blew your mind.
If Star Wars didn't exist, what franchise would you collect / obsess over the most? Your second favorite franchise, essentially.
Probably Harry Potter.
Okay.
Ooh,
I have a lot of Harry Potter stuff as well. Sometimes if I go to Orlando, I'll do Disney for most of the trip, and then I'll have one day for Universal. And I am equally head to toe Ravenclaw when I go to Universal. So I don't know how to halfway be a fan of something. I go full on, just head to toe fandom and then when I go there, I'm like, I am Harry Potter right now.
Right. Yeah, right. So you've been to, of course, you've been to the Harry Potter world. Have you been to the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge yet?
I've been many, many times.
Which one do you like better, Harry Potter World or Galaxy's Edge?
Definitely Galaxy's Edge, simply because I like Star Wars more, and the little Easter eggs that are tucked into all of the corners of Galaxy's Edge, where I'm that person who's like, everybody else is just having a lovely family dinner, family meal, and I'm that weirdo who's like hunched in a corner with my Ronto wrap looking down into one of those little displays that they've got, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this little thing over here, I'm that person.
Yeah, you're reading the Arabesh on the bathroom stalls and stuff like that.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah, okay, I knew we would get along. Because I actually have been to Galaxy's Edge quite often. I really do like it. I do think, the Rise of Resistance is an amazing ride. When I ride it, I think, this ride's freaking awesome! But then I see Kylo Ren, which I love Kylo Ren, but I think it would have been cooler if it was Darth Vader. Do you think that or no?
I am an original trilogy girl.
Thank you. I'm dancing around it because I am too. I'm not an original trilogy girl, but but I love the original trilogy. It doesn't mean I don't like the new stuff, but I just am huge in the original trilogy. And while I do like that ride, I sort of think it would have been cooler if it was that. But go on. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yes. I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy, and I do wish there was some thing in Galaxy's Edge for us elderly fans. It makes me feel like I'm just some old fan, like when I walk in there and I'm like, well, everything is very new. Can I see a little bit of Darth Vader, or can I see a little bit of something like old school Stormtrooper?
Have you rode Rise of the Resistance yet?
One time.
It's hard to get on, yeah.
One time out of, let's see, I would go every 2 or 3 months for almost a year, and I got on one time.
Oh man, well that's more than none times, right?
True.
So that's good.
Yes.
And also,
I did cry.
I was in awe. I really was. While we're talking about rides, the Millennium Falcon, I don't really enjoy that ride. I love standing in line for it though because it looks amazing.
The line is better than the ride.
The line is better than the ride.
Yes.
I do feel like the old Star Tours ride is still one of my favorites.
It is my favorite. It is after Rise of the Resistance. I didn't think anything could beat Star Tours, but we'll say Rise of the Resistance got me.
Well, it's just so interactive and all that stuff. I will say on Star Tours, I've always wanted to be the Rebel spy. And I never have been, because they pick one person out and they put them up on the screen. And one time my daughter was the Rebel spy, and you see me trying to jump in no, not you, kid, me.
I'm the spy.
I've been the Rebel spy one
Oh,
time.
I'm so jealous. You know, and also, if you dyed your hair something a little bit, you could do Vi Marati as well. You know who I'm talking about? you have that
Yes.
look to you. That'd be really cool. Well, that's one thing about Galaxy's Edge that like probably isn't the best idea. I get what they were trying to do, but they have this girl named Vi Marati who big-time Star Wars nerds would know because she's from the books. But so many lay people like you who just sort of like Star Wars.
I don't know if I'm a lay
You're like,
person.
who the heck
I
is
grew
that?
up on Star Wars, but I don't know who Guy Ferrari is.
Not Guy Ferrari.
Oh, okay.
If Guy Ferrari was running around, it might be even cooler. Who is your favorite Star Wars character, and why is it Greedo? Or anybody? Who actually is it?
So hard to pick. It's like
You have to pick one.
oh, like picking your favorite child.
Or your favorite cat.
Or your favorite cat. 'Cause,
Okay.
you know, one of them had to join us here. Out of the 4, one of them had to jump up here. I do love Greedo. Everyone knows that I love Greedo.
I mean,
so
he's on
every
your
time
shirt, so.
he's on my shirt. I love Greedo. I love Finn.
You have a lot of Finn figures. I noticed that.
I do. I have a lot of Finn figures. I'm not even sure how that happened. I think when I saw Finn in the first trailer,
Right.
something just happened to me. When he sits up, it just immediately snapped. I was like, oh my, this is going to be an amazing character.
Right, and you could tell he was an ex-stormtrooper or whatever. That was a really... In the trailer for The Force Awakens, when I saw that, I thought, this is probably going to be my favorite character. I just thought that right away. I like the guy.
It's a good moment.
Now, let me ask you, not to get too into it, but through all 3 movies, do you love what happened to Finn, or what do you think?
I don't love what happened to him. I felt like there was just so much more that character could have done, could have gone through. The character development really could have gone so many more places. An ex-stormtrooper, that story is something that we really could have gotten into some deep emotional storytelling there, especially if an ex-stormtrooper became a Jedi.
Right.
That is a story that I think we all
I want to see.
really wanted to see. And
Yes, I want to see that.
In my mind, that's what happened. You know, like I've got like this emotional Finn story that I've got in my head that, you know, he's off. He became a Jedi, and
Right. Well, I can already tell we're gonna have to talk like so much more to you in other interviews. And I just never forget, like, now we have Galaxy's Edge at Disney World or Disneyland where you can do these amazing rides, right? But in the old days, when all you had was Star Tours, you had that one speeder bike. I don't know if you've seen it, right? It's just like a speeder bike, and it's almost like a park bench. There's nothing to it. It just sits there, but you can go take your picture on it. And we're so spoiled now, because back then, when I went to Disney World as a kid, you'd sit on that thing, and there'd be a family waiting to get in line. You're like, no, this is
mine.
It's mine. I got like 10 more minutes on this thing. I'm imagining myself, speeding through the trees of the Forest Moon of
I have
Endor.
to relive the entire scene, and only then can I give it to you.
Exactly. You've sat on that before, haven't you?
Yeah.
so many times.
We've sat on the same thing before. Isn't that cool? Thank you for being here, Casey. You're awesome. And please, if you're not following Casey, it's a Galaxy Far, Far Gray on Instagram. Thank you once again. We loved having you.
Thank you. So I had to buy a whole new shelf recently to put all of my Finn things on.
Okay, so wait a
Mon
second.
Mothma and Watto.
It wasn't Revenge of the Sith.
What do you mean?
She didn't die in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh wait, that was Clone. That was Attack of the Clones, wasn't it?
Man.
God, I'm sorry.
I
Edit that
gotcha.
part out.